All right, here we go. Backstage before Locust Grove rocks L.A. for the first time, man. They recorded here, but this is going to be insane, man. Please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do in the band.
I'm Zane Smith. I sing and play guitar.
Joey, a drum.
Vince, play guitar.
Q, slap at the bass.
Wow. Well, I know you guys come from Oklahoma. Give us some little ideas on here, like what kind of music you grew up with, what were some of the first acts, first concerts, the stuff that really inspired you to do what you do.
Oh man, to tell you the truth, Korn was the biggest influence in my life. So Fieldy, the bass player, yeah, was huge for me.
Live or just hearing the record?
Hearing them, yeah, okay. And then watching their videos and stuff. So yeah, that was big for me.
Yeah, you definitely had a different style.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So that was one of the bigger ones for me.
Okay.
Geez, I mean, I listened to like the Eagles and like Van Halen and stuff when I was a kid. Yeah, and then listened to some Motown and stuff. But as I got older, I got more into like Pink Floyd and stuff like that. So that's pretty much where I've come from.
I grew up on all kinds of music, mainly just general heavy metal. This is what I grew up in. As far as drummers, I was a huge like Cozy Powell and Tommy Aldridge fan, just classics. But music, man, music is music to me. I'll listen to everything and anything that has a beat.
Yeah. No, it's amazing that Tommy Aldridge is still doing it, man. He goes back to Black Oak, Arkansas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, same with Vinny and Carmine Appice and all them. Just awesome dudes, for sure.
So for me, I'd have to say in the early days, it was probably like AC/DC, you know, like hearing their riffs. It was like that made me want to get a guitar. But like as I progressed, it's like Metallica. I can play so many of their riffs, it's ridiculous, you know. I credit them for a lot of the style that I like to play. But I also love Pantera, Dimebag Darrell, Randy Rhoads. So, you know, all that.
Yeah, Randy being the local guy, and of course Darrell, man, he just was
man. Oh yeah, at their age, man, like I can only help think like where music would be if they were both still alive, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like what they were going to create in the future.
Well, we still do dime tributes out here on the Strip every year. I mean, it just, you know.
That's awesome.
Same with Randy Rhoads, and they do the Randy Rhoads Remembered at NAMM show every year, and every musician comes out and
That's
sings
cool.
all those songs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Now, how did the group come together? You know, what was the common ground you were looking for? How did it gel?
Well, so the story is actually my last band was Anti-Mortem, and we were actually signed to Nuclear Blast, and we recorded out here with the same guy, Bob Marlette, and we had an album out and stuff, and it was 2014 when it was released, and we toured for about 6 months, and everything just started getting a little weird, and just the band kind of fell apart, and so it split in October of 2014, and then the moment that was over, you know, I came home like determined like to get back out there, you know, like, man, I love this. This is what I want to do, you know. And so I actually knew Vince. I've known him my band and his last band played many shows together. And it's funny because I didn't know the other two. I met him at NAMM in 2015, which was kind of cool. And then I went to a show at the Diamond Ballroom, and the bass player, Quentin, came up to me and he's like, "Heard you need a bass player." And so it's like, you look like you got long hair and like you could do it. Let's go. So, but yeah, kind of just slowly. I mean, this is 2015. It took us a whole probably year to grow, and our first show was in March of 2016. So I mean, we're rocking on 4th year, I think, something like that. And here we are in LA on the billboard in the Viper Room, you know. So that's how it happened.
Now, obviously, through the experience of players that didn't work out, you kind of knew what you were looking for as far as the dedication.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and these dudes definitely have it. I'm pretty sure we all lost our jobs going on this tour.
Yeah.
So now, you know, meeting these guys, and what was it about them that made you say this was what I want to get into?
Really, in the bands that they've been in, I mean, they've done a lot of big stuff, and I don't know, just at least to me, it was always hard finding people who were determined, who were, you know, wanting to do this full time and not just as like a garage side hobby or, you know, something to do for fun. Because I was really looking for people who wanted to, you know, this is all they wanted to do with their life and nothing else, meaning leaving everything behind, sacrificing whatever needed to be sacrificed to do this. And that was the toughest part for me. So, and I've been in past bands where that has been the hugest problem. You know, for a year they would be into it, and then after that it would just dissolve. Like just one day they woke up and they didn't want to do it no more. But with this band, it's just the attitude of, you know, the commitment and dedication is always there. So, and unfortunately nowadays it's hard to find, you know, a group of people who, you know, want to struggle to do this. So I mean, through this band, it's the one band that I feel that everyone is on the same page as far as wanting to do this full time. So
yeah, I mean, you gotta almost get hunger every day, and that's gotta come from within, not from somebody giving it to you. You know?
Right.
Yeah. How about you? What was that? What did you learn as far as what it took to, you know, persevere and maintain in a band?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, it's just if you're able to accept the struggle, then you can just do whatever you want, you know. I mean, like, there's days where we go without eating and stuff. There's days where we gotta figure out what we gotta do to make it down the road a little bit longer and stuff. I mean, it's just, if you can put up with that, then you can do really just about anything you want, you know, if you're willing to struggle. And so I've, like, my upbringing, like, my parents weren't really like broke or nothing like that, but we kind of pretended we were. Like, we'd always eat the great value shit and just like, no, you can't buy that, we're broke and all that shit. So it's like kind of accustomed to like not getting what I wanted and stuff. And so kind of helped out with the struggle.
Yeah. And how about you? What was it about these guys that appealed to you?
Well, shoot, I've known. I mean, two of them. These guys, the two guitar players I've known. I knew they were in bands before, and I knew they were already at that level, and then I was looking for the next level. So that's why I joined you up. Yeah, I was like, hey man, yep. So there we go.
That's beautiful.
But it ultimately comes down to the love of like the music and love being on stage. That's why we're here. We're not doing our 9-to-5 job. We're doing this, you know. And this is way more exciting than sitting at a desk or listening to some other boss. So
Zane, tell us about, you know, Bob Marlette, because obviously he's been around. He made a lot of classic records.
Dude, he's awesome.
I
Like,
to work with him once. What was it about him? Man, I hope we can go back and.
he's like he's just the raddest dude I've probably ever met. Like, I can't even, like, he's just rocking, man. He can hear the riffs that, you know, like he believes in the riffs that we write, you know, and it's just, he likes the heavy, the groove, and he has balls, man. Like, it's just, I don't know, and he's really smart. And I don't know, I guess I've always just stayed really close friends with him because he's believed in me in my last band. And, you know, as a singer, that's something, my last band, I played guitar only. So when this band came around, it was like, man, I'm going to just learn to sing because I know I'm in this for the long haul. I can't afford to go 10 more years and a singer quit me like last time, you know. So it's like, I'm just going to do it, you know. And I came out here at NAMM when I met him, and I made a point to stop by Bob's house, and I sang for him. And he's like, yeah, man, go home and work on it. He's like, but I think you got this, you know. And so I don't know, just he's always been there for us, you know. We can bounce ideas back and forth to him. He's really brutally honest, you know. If he likes it, he loves it. If not, he'll tell you it's not good, you know. So like, yeah, and I mean, he's done huge acts, you know. So like, when you get the opportunity to work with somebody like that, you'd be stupid not to just go all ears and just put him as a member in your band for the time that he's in a room with you and hear him out every way he's got to, you know, and everything he's got to say. You know, and I mean, I've learned so much from him, and these dudes got to meet him last year, and like, I'm sure they would all say that our playability kind of came from here, just like up to here, just by meeting him and seeing like what he knows, and like hearing like the history of where he's been and what he, you know, has done, and the gear that he's got and how to run it, and like, it's just crazy, man. There's a lot of knowledge there, so it's cool to have a dude at that caliber that like believes in our band, you know.
Yeah, well, there's definitely something to be said by learning from your elders, you know.
Oh yeah.
A lot of young cats think they know it all, and they don't know nothing like that does.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was talking to Blacktop, and they got to work with Jimmy Johnson and Muscle Shoals. I mean, it's Stones and Skinnerd. I mean, you don't phone that shit in, man. You earn those stripes.
Yep. Yep. That's
Great
true.
Stuff. Well, talking about making this record, you know, how you stepped it up. Obviously, you're singing now, but I mean, as far as everybody being able to take it to the next level and have somebody like that really fine-tune the songs, what do you feel you've really accomplished creatively with this record?
Well, right now, because in 2016 it was really just an EP is what we did. He brought us out to kind of meet everybody and just see how everybody played and hear the songs and stuff like that. And we basically released that. It's called the Monster EP. That's on Spotify, all that. Go follow it out there. But yeah, and we've been just kind of touring, and he told us, hey, go play shows, as many as you can. Like he was saying, like 200-300 a year, which I mean that's really tough to do, you know, when you know. But we're actually on this run, we've done about 47 or something. So like it'll be cool by the time we get home. We've earned some road time, you know. But yeah, he said just get out, play some shows, you know, develop as a singer and as a band, you know, and come into your own. And he said, and then never stop writing in between all of that, and demo out more songs. And the goal is to come back out and record more with him, you know, and maybe get another 5 to make an album, you know, and then push that, you know, maybe to labels, hopefully, you know, if there's any interest there, you know, who knows. Either way, we're going to keep rocking.
Yeah, what I said, there's more and more, you know, indie tools now where you can go direct to the public, you know, and cut out the middleman, you know, and keep it growing. There's bound to be companies and people coming to the party.
Yeah, for sure.
What was the highlights for you making these songs with Bob? You know, whether it be a song or just what you learned, what was the highlight for you?
Honestly, just from what he was telling me, just as a drummer itself, he explained a lot of stuff to me that even I didn't know, and I've been playing drums for like over 10 years. So, I mean, even with any instrument you play, you kind of learn anytime you do stuff, or you just learn all the time. So, you know, there's never a dull moment in playing any stuff like that, because you just always gain new experiences and you learn new stuff. And with Bob, you know, just like Zane said, he knows about the bottom edge of every song. He just knows that every song always needs a good and solid, like, groovy foundation. And, you know, I don't know as far as guitars, but as drums, you know, he kind of taught me just to, you know, hit hard and stadium, hit hard and play slow. So I mean that's, you know, and that's the kind of drum style that I like. It's just, you know, laying into it whenever I can. So
That's great. How about you, as far as taking your guitar playing to the next level, knowing how to record better?
Yeah, no, it was great. Like they were all saying, you know, I mean, he's just like a mountain of knowledge, you know, so just listen to him and stuff. And like, he'll tell you if something sucks, which is awesome. I really appreciate that, you know, like constructive criticism, you know, because there's no point in sugarcoating stuff, like you said, you know. But I don't know, I guess like more, I don't know, just the way you go about writing songs and stuff, like, because that's what I like to do is write songs. So it's like any kind of like knowledge I can learn from that, it's fucking awesome for me. So I learned a lot about writing songs through him, you know.
Yeah.
And my last band, we worked with Cody Hansen from Hinder, and he was really good about that too, you know.
Ultimately, that's what lives on is a great song.
Oh yeah.
You can be a badass player, but it's the song that goes on past your life.
Exactly.
You know.
Yep.
How about you? What you learned from the experience?
I mean, it was just great to, you know, meet with Bob. I mean, we grew up to the bands that he recorded, so it's like great to be working with him, like, and learning, like, all right, this is how it's done.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like, that in itself was a big for me. So, and that, I mean, yeah. And so ultimately being in there, that was kind of actually, I don't know, I've recorded with them a little bit, but being there, I was just kind of thrown in there, and so there was a lot to take in for me. So, and I mean, that was just in itself was a huge learning experience. So there's everything from that I took. So it was great.
Well, it's great. He's still into working, you know, with the new bands and keeping that energy going. Zane, after all you've seen, what advice do you give that young player, singer, somebody coming up today? Obviously the business is ever changing, but as far as the perseverance and dedication of your craft, what do you tell them?
Well, I would say, number one, you're going to have to learn to sacrifice things. That's just the way it is. I would say there's teachable moments in life as you get older, and especially in this industry, and you listen, you learn. You know, you don't think you know it all. You don't come out here like you're the shit, because there's so many bands that'll jump in your spot and take over. You know, you got to be grateful. You got to take pictures with your fans. You got to sign the t-shirts. You got to grind. You got to do it. You got to be gone from home. You got to starve, you know. You got to do it. You got to love it. You got to have fun. That's the number one, you know. Like, that's ultimately why we're here, is because all the bullshit is worth that 30 or 45 minutes or maybe an hour, you know. Like, that's worth that energy that we're throwing together for that, you know, that hour, you know. So it's like, I mean, you know, just support, live music, your local scene, you know, that's what I tell people too. It's like, get out to shows, man. Get out and, you know, and see it. And also too, I have to mention social media. You know, if you're into it, you got it, you know, there's bands, like you said, that can self-sustain just on what they know about marketing and social media. We live in a different age, you know. And so the youngins, they probably have a better leg up than we do.
You gotta
But-
appreciate the little stuff, 'cause it's not all big, you know?
Oh yeah.
Enjoy what you do, man. That's what matters. Where can people find you online?
Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Twitter, Reverb Nation. Anything else?
That's the YouTube.
iTunes. We got. I mean, our EP.
Everything under the band name?
Yeah. Locust Grove. Yep. Look it up. Yeah, we're trying to grow our Spotify right now. Like that's the main thing. So if you have that, add us to a playlist. That'd be cool.
Appreciate you guys coming out, man. We can't wait to see you burn the stage up.
Right on, man. Sounds good.